Hello, everyone. I'm Jun Lau. I'm responsible for APAC policy and regulatory affairs from Elliptic. Prior to Elliptic, I was a banking regulator with the MAS, financial services auditor, and also managed regional and local compliance programs of State Street and BNP Paribas. And thank you to SCB 10X for inviting me today. I'm very happy to be here. I can see quite a good turnout today, and honestly, it reflects where Thailand is today. A few years ago, a panel on digital assets would have been a very niche breakout session, but today it sits at the center of capital market strategy, institutional product design, and national competitiveness. So Thailand's digital assets market is entering a genuinely new phase. The debate is no longer, should digital assets be allowed? That question has already been answered, right? But the real conversation now is, how do digital assets fit into Thailand's capital markets infrastructure? What does investor access look like? What does credible innovation look like? And what kind of digital assets market is Thailand intentionally trying to build? And today we're incredibly fortunate to have Kun Nopnuanparn, who is Assistant Secretary General and Head of the Capital Markets Infrastructure Center from the Thailand SEC, someone who sits at the very intersection of policy, market structure, and innovation. She's responsible for overseeing the Digital Assets Policy Department, Digital Assets Supervision Department, and as I mentioned, the Capital Market Infrastructure Center. Since joining the SEC in May 2005, she has played a pivotal role in modernizing Thailand's capital market regulatory framework. She was also instrumental in a sixth amendment to the SEC Emergency Act enacted in 2019, which laid the foundation for the development of fintech in Thailand. And she also contributed to the promulgation of the Emergency Decree on Digital Assets Business, which is the key legislation governing digital assets fundraising and business operations in the country. So with that, today's session is designed to give you clarity on three things: what the SEC is trying to enable under its new strategic roadmap, where the market stands today, from tokenization to crypto investment products, and how the regulator is building the guardrails to keep pace with growth. So let's dive in. So moving to question one, just to give some context, Thailand is at an inflection point. SEC has moved from risk containment posture to one of active market development, and a new multi-year roadmap signals that digital assets are now central, not peripheral to how the regulator thinks about capital markets. So the question comes, SEC Thailand recently introduced its strategic direction for 2026 to 2028. Could you please share, Kun Nopnuanparn, the key priorities under the roadmap, specifically in relation to digital assets and the future development of Thailand's capital market? Thank you.
Thank you, June, and hello, everyone. For SEC Thailand, we promote the use of technology in the capital market. Therefore, our strategic plan for year 26 to 2028 for enhancing the digital economy are focusing on 5 key topics. The first one is the fostering of digital economies ecosystem. For digital security ecosystem, we will enhance the tokenization of the security and other related activities. The second one is we support the use of technology for tokenization of other real-world assets. And the third one that as there are a lot of development in the crypto market, therefore we see the crypto assets as an asset class for investment. However, the investor have to invest with the proper diversification of their portfolio. And the fourth one is about the supervision. In terms of supervision, we use data and technology in supervision, and we use some data and technology for detection of the suspicious transaction. For instance, like the market manipulation or the use of new account that relation to fraud or the cybercrime. And the fifth one that we cooperate with other regulators to enhance the measure for prevention and suppression of fraud and technological crime or the cybercrime. This is to promote the transparency and trust in the capital market and digital asset market.
Excellent, thank you. So that strategic vision provides the architecture, right? The next question goes to one of the most significant structural shifts being built inside that architecture, which is the digitalization of securities themselves. And so securities tokenization has moved from concept to live infrastructure in several markets already. And Thailand has already made very early moves with tokenized government bonds and electronic securities reform. So the next frontier involves stablecoin, on-chain settlement, tools that could make settlement faster, cheaper, and more transparent. So the question is, securities tokenization has emerged as a key development across global capital markets, particularly alongside on-chain settlement tools such as stablecoins. So from the SEC's perspective, how do you see the evolution of this space in Thailand? And what foundations are being put in place to support a robust digital securities ecosystem?
Yeah. For Thailand, based on the same risk and same regulatory outcome, the tokenization of securities is considered as securities under the security law because we have security law and digital asset law. For tokenization of the product like security, we consider as security. And as we see that there are a lot of development in security tokenization in all countries, just like for tokenized bond, tokenized fund, or the money market fund. And for SEC Thailand, we support the use of technology, including the tokenization of security. That's why this year, 2026, we established the Center for Digital Security Ecosystem, or the Center for DSE, to promote the tokenization and related activity as well as the ecosystem to just like to greater capital market efficiency. And for the SEC, we also provide the regulatory sandbox for the market participant to test their innovation on the service about the tokenization and with limit risk and have some proper risk management and limitation of some service before implementing the full scheme of the service. And now there are 6 market participants who interested in the issuance of the mutual fund and bond in the token form. And we also review and amend our existing rules and regulation to enhance the framework to align with the technology and to align with the tokenization. For instance, on 1st of April, we just amend our regulation on the tokenized money market fund that to provide the definition and standard of the tokenized fund, and also to allow and accommodate the instant adjustment of the investment unit, because when they use technology like the DLT, they also just accommodate and allow the real-time settlement. So we just review our regulation and just amend to support that activities. And with regard to the standard for interoperability, because we may have like the many chain for tokenization of the product, right? For interoperability, SEC are now working on the drafting and providing the qualified and common standard for the token that to enable the connectivity and the interoperability that the issuer can issue the security in the tokenized form and distribute through the market participant. And we provide a qualified standard for this tokenized product and allow the interoperability among various tokenized ecosystem. And we also work with the Bank of Thailand in terms of payment and settlement that when you use the DLT, we can use like for product side, we have security, but for payment, for the Bank of Thailand, and I think there are some companies are now just in the sandbox of the Bank of Thailand about the tokenization of some payment token like the stablecoin, and some company also just like interested in like the deposit token, even e-money token on chain and the Thai baht stablecoin. And now the Bank of Thailand provide this sandbox for testing the stablecoin. And moreover, for more efficiency, this time the security law is in the process of the amendment that we will amend to accommodate the electronic securities to ensure the legal effect and enforceability of the digital security for including like the issue, the transfer, and the use as collateral of the security in the electronic form, including in the token form. And the draft legislation is now in the consideration of the House of Representatives.
Great, thanks. Securities is just one layer, and Nopnuanparn, thanks for mentioning that SEC is collaborating with Bank of Thailand, looking into other kind of tokens such as into real world assets. So beyond securities, tokenization is increasingly being used as a fundraising mechanism from real estate and infrastructure to carbon credit and commodities. And Thailand has seen early activity in this space, as you have described. So understanding where the market actually stands and what type of security structures the SEC is seeing is valuable context for everyone in this room. So the question is, beyond securities tokenization, are there other forms of tokenization being used for fundraising purposes in Thailand, such as real-world asset tokenization or asset-backed tokens? Could you please give us an update on where the market stands today? What type of projects are you seeing? And what regulatory treatment applies to them?
Yeah, okay. For Thailand, we have digital asset laws in 2018, and for tokenization of other real-world assets, including the tokenization for fundraising and for the real-world asset as utilities function. For tokenization of the fundraising purpose, we consider it as the investment token under the digital asset law. We can be classified it as the asset-backed token and then the project-based token. For some asset-backed token that you have the underlying assets as the source of the mainstream of income, just like the tokenization of the real estate or the infra project. For both of these, for investor protection, when the main stream of income is from that underlying assets, such as the real estate or the infrastructure project, the regulation require that such underlying properties must be held by the trustee for the benefit of the whole token holders. This for the investor protection. And we also have some other tokenization of the green product, because SEC, we support the green economy and use of technology for enhancing the green economy and sustainability. For green and sustainability product, they can be issued and offered to the public in the form of investment token. And I think this couple of days, we just have one project on the green product that like to invest in the project of the mangrove growing and then to produce the carbon credit. And the investor will get the return from the revenue sharing when they can sell the carbon credit. And the tokenization of this green project can be in the form of utility token, that the token that issue will represent the product itself. It's just like the represent of the carbon credit or the renewable energy certificate. And there are also some tokenization of some real world assets, just like song or movie. This in Thailand, we call the soft power token. For this kind of token, the issuer can offer it through the shelf filing scheme that they just apply for the approval once, and then within 2 years, they can issue several issues of the product. This is to save cost of the issuing, and it's just like to suitable for the characteristic of the products. And then now we have like 6 approval of investment token or the project that offer the token for investment purpose. For real estate backed token project, one movie project token and one is green project token that I just mentioned earlier. And another 6 project is in the process of the pre-consultation of the SEC. And for those 6 projects that we already approved, the amount of fundraising is more than $263 million US.
Wow. Great. So we talk about the infrastructure layer and how the SEC and the government is supporting that infrastructure layer. We also talked about the asset layer. So maybe now turn the lens a bit. Let's turn to the investment product layer. So the growing demand from both retail and institutional investors for regulated vehicles to access digital assets. So globally, the approval of spot Bitcoin and Ether ETFs have fundamentally changed how institutions and retail investors access capital markets. Thailand has a growing retail base that has already been participating directly in crypto markets and also an institutional community asking what kind of regulated wrapper products might look like here. So the question is, there's been growing interest in crypto-related investment products, including crypto ETFs and derivatives. So from the SEC's perspective, what role could these products play in Thailand's digital asset industry? And maybe more broadly, how does the SEC think about the role of digital assets in investor portfolios?
All right. Okay. Actually, for Thailand, we have a long development for the digital asset and the crypto assets, as we have the digital asset law since 2018. So our investor, including the retail investor, they can invest into the crypto asset directly through the licensed business operator under the digital asset law. And for SEC Thailand, we see the development of this crypto asset, and we see that in the past there may be some focusing on the speculation, right? But this time, I think the market is more mature and traditional players are interested in the crypto asset. And as we see, the crypto now is an asset class for the investment. However, there are also some risk of the crypto assets. That's why the investor are advised to invest with the proper portfolio diversification. And the investor are advised to allocate their crypto investment and not more than 5% of their portfolio as there is a risk product. However, for this time that many traditional players more interested in this crypto asset. That's why, like other countries, that this year we also introduced the crypto ETF that allow the investor to have the indirect investment in the crypto asset through this crypto ETF, and the investor don't have to concerns or just enter into the complexity about managing their own digital wallet, because there are some techniques, right? They can invest through this tool. And for the crypto ETF, the public hearing just closed on 11th of May, and now we are in the process of consideration of the feedback from the public hearing on crypto ETF, and we hope that we can see this crypto ETF product within this year. And for the crypto futures, we can also see that this is the product that the investor can use to hedge their crypto exposure and to managing their risk by using this crypto derivative. And the cabinet meeting on the 10th of February this year just allow that the crypto asset and digital asset can be served as the underlying asset for the derivative products. And now SEC already seeking the public comment on the principle of this crypto derivative, and the public hearing just end on 20th of May, and now we are in the process of talking with the companies or the stakeholder, and also consider the feedback from the public hearing.
Thank you. So widening access and deepening markets inevitably raises the stake for supervision. So we need to balance, the encouraging of the innovation with risk management and investor protection. So as the market grows in scale and sophistication, so is the importance of getting investor protection right. So maybe let's close in on that. The majority of the market, and maturity of the market is measured not just by its growth, but by how well it protects participants. Fraud, cybercrime, and illicit financial flows remain live concerns in digital markets globally, and regulators everywhere are racing to build supervisory capacity that keeps pace with this innovation. So the question is, as digital asset markets continue to evolve, issues surrounding fraud, cybercrime, and illicit financial flows have increasingly become important. Could you please share how SEC is strengthening market supervision and investor protection, and what market participants should know about the expectations that the SEC is setting?
Okay, as our main function is are both like to support innovation and development, and also in other parts is to investor protection is the very important function. And for this use of the technology, they also come with risk, but there are also some benefit, right? For SEC Thailand, we use data and technology in supervision and to prevent some market abuse, such as for insider trading or market manipulation. We use the surveillance system and the data-driven tools to detect some suspicious transaction and to investigate some misconduct behavior. We also cooperate with the trading venues and the intermediary to trace some suspicious activities and to take appropriate action. And we also use technology to detect some suspicious activities such as the use of new accounts for fraud and transfer of illicit funds, particularly in relation to the digital asset, because for the digital assets, just like for the stablecoin, it may be used as a tool for transferring the illicit money. That's why we also use this technology to detect and also cooperate with other regulators to tackle about this problem. And we also work closely with the financial institution, the digital asset business operator, and other regulators such as the Bank of Thailand, the Anti-Money Laundering Office, and the police to prevention of the cybercrime matter, this cybercrime matter by using like some product like the digital asset. And then the AML and CFT standard and practice have been strengthening by requiring more robust KYC and CDD procedures. And then recently, the SEC have cooperated with other regulator and industry to enhance the measure for prevention and suppression of fraud and the technological crime or the cyber crime. That in addition to enhance the KYC standard, the digital asset business operator are required to conduct the customer profiling and to screen their customer and to screen the new account. They have to do something like to conduct the customer due diligence and to classify the customer into categories, and they have to evaluate the suitability of the investment for each customer and to assess customer abilities to investment, as well as to identify their ultimate beneficial owners. And I want to emphasize something important that is about the travel rules. For the travel rules, it's important key to trace the fund flow like from end to end, and this for more efficient detection of the transaction. For Thailand, now we are in the process of drafting the travel rule regulation. And we already have the public consultation on the principle of the travel rules. And the public consultation already closed, and now we're working. We also have the focus group that to discuss with the stakeholders like the business operators and other relevant regulators. And we expect that the regulation on travel rules of Thailand will be effective in this July, the next month, right? And for other problem about the use of digital asset in fraud and scam, we will have some solution to solving the problem, the use of unlicensed overseas digital asset platform. That for overseas digital asset platform, if they have some activity just like to solicit people in Thailand, for instance, using Thai language, or providing service in Thai baht, they require to apply for the license. If they're not applying for the license, it will consider as violation of digital asset law because you solicit people in Thailand by using Thai language and providing the Thai baht, etc. And for this matter, according to the anti-cybercrime law, the Ministry of Digital Economy and Society, or the DES, they are authorized to block website and application of such unlicensed the platform. This the regulation on anti-cybercrime will allow the Ministry of Digital Economy and Society to block website more effectively because they don't have to apply or wait for the court order. And this can help a lot to prevent the use of digital asset in relation to the fraud or scam or the cybercrime.
Thank you. Wow, we've covered a lot of ground today. So from the SEC's strategic roadmap to the live infrastructure being built for tokenization, the emerging landscape of crypto investment products, and how the SEC is ensuring that the market grows safely. So maybe since we have some time, can I ask just one more question, which as a closing question? So by the end of 2026, Nopnuanparn, what outcome would convince you that Thailand's digital asset market is becoming more mature, not just more active?
Okay. Actually, since we have the law on digital asset in 2018, we see a lot of development in digital asset market, even in Thailand or over the world. And for Thailand, our regulatory framework are now adhere to the IOSCO recommendation and also other international standards. Unlike other countries that we see that the market is now more mature, that many traditional players are also interested into the digital asset and the product activities and product. Thus, we hope to see the tokenization of the securities such as a bond or fund. Within this year, I think particularly for the money market fund, we may see some use cases in Thailand this year. And for crypto ETF, yeah, we hope to see the product this year too. And also some development about the crypto derivative. And the most important thing that our business operator is now providing service with the responsibility. They give proper advice to the investor to invest in this crypto asset. And the most important thing is the trust and transparency in the capital market and digital asset market that now we strengthening and enhance our AML and CFT measure, as well as to cooperate with other regulators to prevention the use of this product for the scam or fraud, and we are cooperate for the anti-cybercrime matter.
Thank you. So just to sum up, what strikes me today about today's conversation is the clarity of intent. Thailand isn't drifting into digital assets. It is making deliberate, structured choices about what kind of market it wants to build. So that matters enormously for everyone in this room, whether you're a builder, an institution, or an investor. So maybe we will close today's session by asking Khun Nopnuanparn, do you have any closing remarks?
Okay, for SEC Thailand, yeah, we support innovation. However, we have to investor protection. That's why for digital asset or the tokenization or the use of technology, we totally support for that. However, it's come with the proper regulation, and that's why we also provide the scheme like for the sandbox, and we also hoping about the trust and transparency in the market and the responsibility of the business operator for the capital market and digital asset market.
Well, thank you. So with that, we'll close today's session, and please join me in thanking Khun Nopnuanparn for such a candid and forward-looking conversation. So I hope I wish you success as SB10X for the event, and thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.